All right, and a hearty shout out to all of you in the Rabyd Nation, whether you are a paid citizen, a tourist just who has just subscribed, or whether you're looking across the border wondering whether to immigrate. This is the Rabyd Nation. I welcome one and all of you. I'm your host, Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a Tuesday where it's kind of a wild card thing. It's whatever I decide to pull out and do. And today I'm going to, um, after a stream is over, lately I've been getting a lot of comments on the streams after they're over. And I didn't used to get that a month ago. Like it was kind of quiet. But this last month I've seen just an overabundance of some of the comments later. And I don't have always the time to address them like sitting down and writing it. Anybody who knows me knows that when I write, my internal editor just goes berserk, and so it takes me a lot longer to write a response than it does to speak one. So I'm going to address some of those comments. So, wow, yeah. It's just a time zone thing. Yeah. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. Just a few announcements. The Discord link, of course, is in the description. We also have to, yeah, honestly, yeah, they do. I actually have a few theist comments today, so that I want to address. Some are better than others. We'll see. But yeah, they do try to respond. It's usually after the fact. I do question sometimes whether or not they actually watch the stream. So the Discord's there. Check out that if you want a community where you can talk and meme and laugh together. It's the Fluffle of Fangs is becoming a kind of little decent little thing, and we'll hope it continues to grow and continues to be an enjoyable place. Also, I have a goal in chat. That's a way of paying for the stream. I will keep the ads off during the stream as long as I get some decent support. Otherwise, they'll come back on, and everybody will be annoyed. So make sure you check that out. And get to that goal, I will wear whatever hat has been chosen by the poll for the rest of the stream. Right now, it's the Newsboy hat at 43%, but we'll see that. But today, on a Wildcard Tuesday, let's pull up some comments that I have received on some of my videos over the last couple of weeks. So here we go. Now this is one of my members. This is the video I did about the 15,000 churches closing a couple of weeks ago, I think. So it says, in some ways, to me, it seems that once you get a building as a congregation, it's all downhill from there. And now a large part of your focus is to keep and maintain the building, or to expand and remodeling to the detriment of the actual community assistance and outreach. Yeah, that is the message of the house churches. Like those of you who aren't aware of the house church movement, there's a large movement of people that have church in houses and they expand that way. There's a lot of churches that don't have a building, and there are some major advantages to that, like maintenance costs. They can actually like pay the staff and pastors a lot more because they don't have to maintain things. Now, they often do have to rent facilities, so that usually can be a little bit more expensive, but without having to maintain and do all the extra stuff, it's kind of nice. I think there was also a talk about spiritual experiences in that video. So Josh also wanted us like, hey, I've had spiritual experiences, quote unquote, in nature. I've had the same thing happen. Like I used to do hiking, and there's a couple places around here. If you stand there, you're kind of a little bit in awe. So, and yeah, I can appreciate the architecture of other churches, like old European. It's more awe and marveling at the scope of craftsmanship of those who built it. Yeah, like there's some unsung heroes. So, but yeah, I want to address this comment mostly because it kind of summarized that video for me as well. Like this is kind of how I felt about it. Like when I was a minister, the building thing was always the thing that killed me. Like we could do so much more if we didn't have to maintain the building. So yeah, like you'll have that, Cranky. Good to see you, Crank. I forgot to do a roll call. let's see who is here. Fred was here, but he's not here. John is here. Scuzzbopper's here. Paul is here. Nathan is here. And the other gods have sent their emissary. All right. Yeah, there is a lot of that. Like, that's one of the things that does happen is they will rent facilities like that for their services because that's cheaper than actually owning a building and having to maintain it. So, yeah, I mean, that is too. But I think there's a part of our evolution that appreciates things. So, oh, the mighty Philbert is here. There we go. Yeah, no. So, but yeah, I can see where part of our evolution is to like, I think that feeling of awe and grandeur that we sometimes get is that understanding of how insignificant we are. Sometimes it's a positive thing though. Like, I've had similar experiences when I'm hiking, like, wow, that's amazingly beautiful. That's all inspiring, or that kind of stuff can exist without a God. So I appreciated Josh's comment here. Let's see if the next one's as good. Same video about the 15,000 churches closing. And I don't know what to do with this comment, but Sean here says mainline Protestant Christianity is dying. Catholic, Orthodox, and even non-denominational evangelicals certainly are not. I didn't respond to this one. That's why I'm pulling it up here now, and I want to respond verbally. I feel like one of my first responses should be with some of the things you say are the exception is how to tell me you didn't watch the stream without telling me you didn't watch the stream, because the video that I was reacting to that day literally talks about the Catholic Church and how attendance has dropped, like from 54% of adherents to 45% of adherents are now dropped. So that's a drop in attendance. I know for a fact, even in my own little neck of the woods, they've closed parishes and consolidated them. So I don't know how the Catholic Church is an exception when it's clearly not. The Orthodox thing I had to look up because I don't think the video actually deals with the Orthodox Church. But yeah, there was the thing I got was that worldwide, the Orthodox Church is kind of holding pat, like it's not growing, it's not shrinking. It's one of the notable exceptions, it is, except in America, where it is shrinking. Okay, like they've had closed churches, their attendance has dropped in Orthodox churches. So, and then the non-denominational evangelicalism, I don't how I get. Yeah, it's kind of that's what I thought too. I'm like, is this an ortho bro that's just kind of like beating his own drum? And it's like, I'm sorry, there doesn't seem there are only a few exceptions to the shrinking church problem, and one of them is like Pentecostal charismatic stuff. Those types of churches seem to be holding their own because they're very experientially based. And then you got like immigration churches were the only ones I heard of note in the video that were growing. Like people who immigrate here, they bring their religion here, and then they want a church. So it's like the Catholic Church running out of other young boys. It might be. They're running out of altar boys, I guess. Yeah, it's not. It's a universal problem. There are very few exceptions to this rule. Like there are some growing churches out there. Don't get me wrong. But I'm kind of doing a follow up here on that video and that stream here with something. But I have a problem with this comment. It's like, are you paying attention? Like part of the problem I think with the church is they don't want to face that they have a problem because they don't want to change. They don't want to acknowledge like maybe some of their stuff is bad. Like like maybe some of the stuff is doing. Like I just saw a couple documentaries of several mega churches that have literally closed and the buildings are abandoned. Like they can't maintain them. So yeah. So I don't know where this guy's getting his information, but based on everything I'm researching, I don't see that any of these churches are doing well. So numbers are somewhat influenced by internal Christianity movements like the article that people go to the article because it's more conservative. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. But that's not church growth though, Paul, then. That's just what we used to call in the ministry biz sheep stealing. Like they're just moving from one Christian branch to another. Like that's not a growth of the church at all. You can't say you're just seeing one. You're seeing other denominations shrink, and one of them growing or staying the same. That just means that the people that are shrinking from are moving somewhere else, and they're moving to the Orthodox Church for some strange reason. It is more conservative though, and it's more traditionalist. So don't want to go there. Support for Trump and people leaving MAGA as a large. Yes. I think this is going to eventually be a death song. It's going to be a dirge for the evangelical church because the politics and their embracing of politics is turning a lot of people. Actually, I have a comment that I want to address dealing with that, so I'll hold off for that. But yeah, it's doing the church hop. Yep, like that's exactly what they're doing. They're leaving like conservative type churches, but they're going to Orthodox church because it fits their style more. So yeah, we used to call them sheep stealers. Like you're stealing my sheep. Closed in recent years. In fact, when I looked this up, I learned that 3 Catholic schools in New York City are set to close at the end of the year in June. Yep, it's happening. So the idea that the Catholic Church isn't experiencing this, I think, has been debunked pretty thoroughly here. But I think the Orthodox thing, it seems like the only reason they're doing better is they're not getting new Christians. They're just getting Christians moving from somewhere else. And non-denominational evangelicalism, it's hard to track because they don't have to like report numbers to a central authority, so you can't really say if they're growing or not. So I can't really speak to that, and I don't know how anybody else does. Let's see. Lucky Otter says, I'm a Christian, a liberal one, and this is actually a relief to my ears. The American church, especially evangelical churches, have become so tied up with right-wing politics, trying to influence government policy. It's no wonder if free people want to leave these churches. In my view, these churches do not preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and are nothing but a religious cudgel used to justify brutal and oppressive policies meant to demean vulnerable populations and maintain the white male patriarchy. I found this one significant because it was from a Christian, and that they were kind of glad that some of these churches were closing. I can applaud this. I can applaud a Christian that's self-aware enough to realize that this is a problem. What I've always had to maintain though with any liberal kind of progressive part of any religion, you're still in the religion. What's the basis for you being in the religion? And like there are some things that the religion maintains. If like you maintain that the Bible is the word of God, you got several moral and political problems right there. Like just by saying it's the word of God, because part of your word of God has some interesting problems. Okay, so you want one of those? Okay, it wasn't much different except more rules you have to follow. And here's the thing, Nathan, there's people that like the more rules of the Orthodox Church. Like they think that makes it real Christianity because you have to like do something, you have to, like you're part of something that's important, that has rules about membership and stuff like that. That's how the Assemblies of God kept going for years, is like we're more real Christians because we actually have to live up to certain behavioral standards, and people are attracted to that. Hey, Martin. But yeah, I don't know. I like this comment in the fact that it's coming from a Christian. They were kind of happy that the churches were closing, but for a very different reason than I am happy. I don't know. There's a lot of elements to Christianity in and of itself that are problematic, in my opinion. And there's no way, no matter how liberal you get, you're going to get rid of that. So, but yeah. Oh, yes. I wanted to address this comment because I haven't addressed it yet. And it comes up every once in a while because somebody says I should appear on the line or some other show or things like that. And they're asking me, Arch is asking me, I'm unsure what the problem is with the line, if it's okay and worth doing, any particular reason. Well, one, as you say on the bottom here, it's not really my style. I prefer conversations. The reason I like to interact with comments and comments in the chat is people have to take time and think a little bit about what they're saying. Whereas I don't think the line, you get the opportunity to really think about good answers. I'd be the kind of guy that appears on the line, something like it, and I would think of all the good arguments that I should have had the next day while I'm standing in the shower, kind of thing. It would be, damn it, I should have said this, and damn it, I should have said that. So, uh, hey, Earl. Speaking of the line, hi, welcome to the lab in which our Lord naps, the lovely, wonderful, beautiful, smart, ever wonderful I killed Earl. So there you go. I'm sorry about what's happened in your life there with your dog. There you go. But the other reason I don't appear on the line in particular is I've now met three people, and I closely work with one person that used to work for them, and I haven't heard anything good. Like how they treat their people, how they're like. It's more of a like the people at the line seem to try to control everything, and you're not going to get decent discussions internally without that. So yeah, like Earl would kind of like basically say that the line is kind of like a cult. It's like there's a cult leader kind of thing, and there's that kind of thing. And I've heard that from more than one source. Now, I've never experienced it myself, but I trust the people I trust, and I'm around the people I am around, um, to say, okay, that's probably something I don't want to do. Okay. Well, Fangs isn't a cult, but yeah, I mean, Asho's had something. It's like an echo chamber. It's like I tolerate a lot of different political views. Okay. I tolerate a lot of social views. And the reason I do that is I don't want to be an echo chamber. I want somebody like I had my birthday stream, and me and Earl had several conversations where it's like I don't necessarily know if I agree, and I'm sure she doesn't agree with me a lot of times too. But I'm happy to have like the difference of opinion, and I just don't feel like the line is that. Like there seems to be this very controlled thing, and I just don't want to be a part of that. Like I don't want people to be afraid to come with me with something idea or express something, and I feel like the line has that fear, and it feels very religiosity, is that a word? There's a religious feeling to it sometimes, and that's why I just won't participate, other than my own personal objections. So yes, ASHO, there's an ASHO sighting. By the way, ASHO, sorry about your kitty. I wanted to make that public. So everybody be nice to ASHO, even though he is an ASHO. So he has reasons. So yeah, buzzword spammers. Like some of you are on the outside looking in, and seeing what we're seeing. So Pew Research polls, the most common answer given by for leaving the church was that they don't believe anymore. Yes. Well, I still love some rules. The company I am with now has no written policy. I see an open choice sales come from the office and the warehouse, and I want to write so myself. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, that's kind of my short answer as to why that I don't deal with the line, and I probably won't in the future. I have friends that have had bad experiences, and I kind of feel like it's gotten culty, and I just won't do with that. So yeah, they shouldn't be talking about that at all. Yes. Bangs is a mod cult. Hey, Brent. Hey, Michael. Wow, look at the gangs all here. Look at all of you. Hey, it's a tuck sighting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have missed you around here, so Yeah, I will do that. I will do that. Okay, I will do that. But yeah, I am very sorry. So like I've lost pets dear to me too, and it's no fun. It's as bad as losing somebody you care about is always hard. All right, here's another one. I need your opinion on this comment because he says some things, and I did respond to this one. I'm just not sure I was very nice. Um, um, but this was on a stream where I was talking about Christianity, like, and some of the problems with it. I can't remember which exact stream. This is from about a week ago, I think, like a week ago Monday. It's always funny when clowns think they're so enlightened to it. They attack Christians and Jesus. You never see these jackasses say anything about Jesus, Jewish religion, or the Muslims. It's always Jesus they attack. Nobody cares what you think. Get a real job, bro. So does anybody out there care what I think? I just want to debunk that part early. Does anybody care about what I think? So, yes, join the Discord. There's a new Discord. Dog person, not a cat person per se. Oh. You only pretend that you care. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, like the problem with this comment by Supernova is I actually have made comments about Abrahamic religions in general. Like I have a problem with all of them. So, um, you know, this is another one where did you actually watch the stream, bro? Because I'm fairly certain I talked about stuff like so. But yeah, like it's it's interesting that I get this comment out of the blue on this stream, and I'm like, what in the hell? Like, yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm with Mr. Jesus here. It's just I just found this weird, but it's like, and I don't know, like the idea that nobody cares what I think. I thought I'm like, okay, let's see, what, 5.7K subscribers. I have 5 streams a week. People show up. They must care something about what I think, or at least if they want to come and make fun of me, that must be part of it. So, see what they want to see. Yeah, like okay, fine. You want me to attack Islam and Judaism? I can do that. Like, the Jews and Muslims aren't knocking on doors and waving their. They don't have their heads embedded in Trump's ass, and they aren't trying to legislate their dogma. Yeah, he's very much alive and looking very guilty. That's poor. Yeah, yep. Asshole's still the OG. He's been a member here for 29 months. It's good to see you, asshole. Genuinely, like you've been away for a while. And I've been worried about you. I know it's internet friendships, and we don't take those as seriously, but I do. So, yeah, my issue with Jesus is, as always, some of the things that he taught. Like I have a whole series of streams on this. Like there's some of that. So, but yeah, it's like I didn't really understand that. Like being on. There you go. There you go. There you go. See, thanks, asshole. By the way, but yeah, asshole's been a member for quite some time. He was my very first member. So, there you go. Yeah, it's like the Godfather quote for Asho. No matter how much he tries to get out, he just keeps getting drawn back in. Poor bastard. Okay, next one. This one was a funny one, and I thought I'd highlight it for all of you. My introduction to presuppositionalism with Darth Dawkins guy. What an introduction that was. Yeah, I saw him once in action. I said, you know what? I'm not going to deal with that guy. But yeah, I promise. I bet it was. But yeah, like if your introduction to presuppositionalism is Darth Dawkins, I feel so bad for you. So there you go. There you go. Oh my gosh, God shaves. Yeah, he does. He does. He has to. That's that beard, that epic beard that he always has. That white one. Yeah. Dumb dumpkins. Yes. I made fun of Tucker on a video posted by The Economist lately. Loads of flack. Today I got, nobody cares about your opinion. My reply, nobody cares about your comment either. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on doing it. So I tell them, no one has a problem with Jesus any more than you have a problem with Tinkerbell. The problem is all these dumb Tinkerbell followers. That is correct. But yeah, like Ken here, I had to like, sorry, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't see why I'm still on YouTube, by the way. Hey, you know what? I get it. I get it. We've had that discussion. So you know how I feel about that sort of stuff. I don't like it when people I get canceled over stupid little reasons. I thought it was a stupid reason for you. I think it's a stupid reason that Earl got canceled or people attempted to wipe her out pretty much. I think those are dumb reasons. Like it's words, and I get so tired of people getting canceled over the words choices they make. Like so, or just you take a moment to be nice to somebody that people don't like, and next thing you know, you're being canceled. So, but yeah. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm dumb. So yeah, I've been following that drama too, there, Earl. Like, so there you go. I don't want to. I know sarcasm. I just do it myself. Well, there you go. There you go. Garth Dawkins is is a precept. He's a narcissistic jackass who uses religion as a justification for abuse. And this is coming from an elder god. This is good, Cranky. Like you're speaking as an elder god, and and you think he's a jackass. Oh my gosh. I know. No, that this has been like I honestly, Paul, I catch a lot of flack because I have certain people that I hang with. Okay, I catch a little every once in a while. I get a private message where they're just like, "Why do you hang with this person? This person's awful." And I'm like, "I know," but I don't want to be. I dislike the idea of cancel culture. I dislike the idea of just like you say the wrong words. Like we're adults here. We should be allowed to use adult words. It's one of my beefs with YouTube. Like I mark this channel for adults. I should be allowed to use the words. I shouldn't have to say sexual assault. There's another word I could use for that, but they ban that word. So we end up playing all these linguistic gymnastics. And it's like, I just don't like that. Like, I think that's stupid. And when people get canceled because they don't play the linguistic gymnastics, I think that's wrong. So there you go. Gain knowledge on some things if you follow the right sources. Yeah. Yeah, to stop watching and supported quite a few content recently, just a bunch of self-indulgent bullies. Yeah, like Phil, it's a choice you have to make as a content creator. Like I made a choice a long time ago. I wasn't going to dump people simply because they didn't play a certain self-righteous game. Like there's a self-righteous element to almost every viewpoint. And it's those people I try to avoid, because once you get too much self-righteousness in your blood, you start judging everybody else. And then somehow you've arrived and you're sitting on a throne. And I don't like those kind of people. So, so sorry, John, you're canceled. Okay, there we go. By typing in one certain word. Yes, do not use wet words in chat. Earl's grumbling. Oh, yeah. Yes, Google responsibly. But yes. Oh, let's see what else we got here. Oh, hey, a Christian that was annoying. This was on the stuff yesterday. This is from yesterday's stream. A much more relevant question: does human existence actually require supernatural? I think that's a simple one to answer. Anybody want to answer that one? Careful, Bren. I don't know what happens when mods try to ban mods, but I don't really want to find out. Yeah, you can't cancel a mod, unfortunately. Oh, but does it actually require supernatural? No. Like, I think the real problem I have with this comment is going to be a lot of what I would call projecting. Like, yeah, I mean, that was my initial reaction. Like the question I had yesterday, does morality require religion? And he's responding saying, well, does human existence actually require the supernatural? And it's like, no, it doesn't. And and like it's a simple answer to return. It's like, what is the supernatural? What do you mean? Like, are you saying that some sort of intervention by some supernatural entity is required for human existence? Like, I don't need to think that way anymore. Like, it's just not. So you can override other mods. Oh, you can do that. I didn't know that. Does the supernatural require humanity? I don't know. Do the elder gods require humanity? Asking for a friend. I know, he did it for the joke. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any supernatural things needed straight up. But this guy goes on. If not, then why? Pray tell me, are all you avowed rabid hate theists? Now, I've seen that term before, the hate theist thing. Like, is that? I seem like I heard Aaron Ra deal with a guy who commented this way. I wonder if it's the same dude. But like this hate theist, so obsessed with sci-fi, fantasy, myths, and supernatural mumbo jumbo. You're the theist who believes in God, and I don't know, like, how are you not the one with you're the one that's kind of implying that supernatural mumbo jumbo is necessary for human existence. So I'm trying to figure out this comment, I guess. How do I know I was a Christian? Well, what do you mean by that? That's a pretty vague question. Like how do I know that I was a Christian? How does anybody know that they're a Christian? Define how you, and I'll tell you whether I meet your definition of how one knows they're a Christian. Like if you give me a definition of how you think people can know that they are a Christian, then I can tell you whether I meet that definition or not. Anything supernatural, there's no possible existence of anything supernatural. Yeah. Let's see what it says. Let's see. Why would you ever natural selection fog your reptilian survival brain with such fanciful obsessions and not just your mind? It's the mind of every other atheist, hate theist, It's always dangerous to generalize. I would respond to anarcho-republican, which has got to be the most oxymoron name I've ever seen. I'm sorry. You can say a lot about Republicans, but they're not anarchists. But yes. is super duper natural. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, but he ends with perhaps the great Carl Jung expressed it best. I'm not going to do the Latin, but called upon God or not, God is always present, which is like a claim without evidence. So I guess I'm trying to figure out this guy. But yeah, what do we know about Jesus? I think it's a lot of poisoning. Well, Reckon Ryder, like he's coming at at atheists as if they're kind of like we're all a certain thing, and so that's the way it is. What do you mean whether my conversation is genuine? Like, what is your standard for how one would know Jesus? Like, how does, well, why don't you go with salvation? How do you know somebody's saved? Okay. How do you know that somebody has experienced, yeah, like, I'm trying to get a clarification about your original question. Like, what do you mean by Christian and how do we know? Like, if I want to say that I knew as a Christian, okay, I grew up in the church. I went to the altar and prayed the salvation prayer, like they said, and I got quote unquote saved. 5 years later, I spoke with tongues and was filled with the Spirit. A few years after that, I got quote unquote called into the ministry. I mean, how does anybody else know that they're a Christian? Like, this is a question we used to ask inside the church. How do you know that you're a Christian? Like, what is the definition? How would you know? It seems like it'd be easy to define, okay, this is how we know what a Christian is. And I can tell you yes or no whether I meet that. So, but yeah. Well, yeah, but that's, yeah, like I believe the Bible. I studied the Bible. I went to school. Like, I have a bachelor's degree in biblical studies from Trinity Bible College with a slash also bachelor's degree in ministry. I also have a Master of Arts degree in theological study from Asbury Hill. So I know the Bible is the source of faith. Okay. So the question becomes, okay, how do you know that you're a Christian? And do I meet that definition? So like it, don't get me wrong. I find this conversation fascinating. I'm going to have my mods hold off a little bit because I think it's an interesting question because you're asking a question, but I need some clarification. How did I convert? I heard the message of Jesus Christ that he is going to save me, and I needed to repent of my sins. So I went to the altar, repented of my sins, and invited Jesus into my heart at a nice vacation Bible school I was at that summer in my own church that I had been attending since I was 4. Okay. And I accepted that message and believed it with all my heart. Okay. And I believed the Pentecostal messages and accepted those too. Spoke in tongues, the whole bit. I was a minister for 20 years, 10 years of that in the Assemblies of God. So I I would say now, then I would have thought about that the Holy Spirit had regenerated me and all that other crap that they say. But now I would say it's a very emotional experience and a lot of peer pressure to be accepted, which has a very powerful effect upon us psychologically. I'm going to tell you something that you're probably not going to like to hear. Nobody is really saved because salvation is a made up thing by the church. Like, it's completely made up. So nobody's actually saved. Like, when people accuse me, you're never really saved, that's true, but neither are you. Okay. So, but no, I don't have any of that. So, um, but no, like, I now know what the whole salvation message is. It's like, no, like, you're manipulating people's emotions to believe something that doesn't exist. Okay, sin is a made up problem and Jesus is a made up solution. Okay, it's all salesmanship. Well, okay, so you're an Arminian that believes people can fall away by choice. So, but that's fine. But you need to understand that if I couldn't know that I was a Christian, I don't know how anybody else knows. Like, how would you give, what outward signs, what inward signs would you give that you know somebody else is a fellow believer? Okay, like, how would you know? Okay, like, your original question is an epistemological question related to faith. Okay, like how do you know that you're a Christian? What makes you so sure that you are one? Okay, so well, yeah, but that has nothing to do with how you know that you are a Christian. How do you know that you're a Christian? It's a question I used to ask when I was in the pulpit to my congregants. How do you know that you're a Christian? I used to ask this question every once in a while when I was in the Assemblies of God. Like, how do you know? Have you experienced God? Like the Pentecostals are big into experiential God. I got a couple witnesses in the crowd that could raise their hand. Like, you know him personally. Can you prove that? I used to say that too, that I know God personally and I knew Jesus personally. But this is because I'll also get people that say they know Muhammad personally or Allah. There are people in Hinduism say that they experience Vishnu and they know Vishnu on a higher level. Like this is a claim that you cannot prove. You're sitting there saying that you know Jesus personally and you know God personally. I thought that too. You can't prove it. Once again, these are all claims without evidence. You have no evidence for this other than for yourself. Personal experience is the most useless apologetic there is, except to the person that has the experience. Like you can't. Yeah, there's kind of a claims without evidence thing here, Philbert. But it's a good illustration, Philbert, of what we used to believe. Like you and I both know this bullshit very, very well. Okay, if you don't go to the Assemblies of God Church for any length of time before you are introduced to this experiential type personal relationship Christianity. Okay, the problem with it is prove that you have a personal relationship with Jesus. Prove it. It's the two words that every theist hates. Okay, prove it, because there's a claim here. There's no evidence. Okay, like it's not you're the one that says you have a relationship. It's your burden of proof to prove. Okay, prove that you have a personal relationship with Jesus. You have a signed note by Jesus saying, "Hey, glad to have you in my board." It sounds like something that you want to be true. Okay, but you're the one that's making a claim that you know something. If I come up to you and say, "Hey, man, I know former President Barack Obama," somebody actually, I'm good friends with him. Okay, would you not demand proof of me? Would it be your responsibility to prove that I didn't have that relationship, or would it be my responsibility to prove I did have that relationship? It'd be my responsibility to prove that I had the relationship with Barack Obama and that I was his friend, which I don't. I'm not his friend. Okay, I don't know him personally. Okay, I know of him because he used to be the president. But you're the one that if you're going to claim you have friendship with somebody, dude, you're the one that has to prove that you have the friendship. Prove you're friends with Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have to prove some. Yeah, I don't have to disprove something that can't be proven in the first place. I'm not. That's not my problem. Your problem is you made the claim that you have a relationship with God and have a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. Prove it. You're the one making the positive claim. Prove your claim. Like I'm sorry. This is why I left the faith, is because of this evasiveness in trying to prove what a relationship with God is. Like I grew up in a very experiential Christianity that personal relationship with Jesus was the thing. I know exactly what I'm reading your mail before you even say it. Okay. Because I used to say this shit too. Okay. But I could not no more prove that I had a relationship with God any more than anybody else. Okay. I can prove my relationship. Like if I want to prove, like I have a relationship with I killed Earl, I can pull up my texts with Earl. I can pull up all our interactions. I can pull up my live streams with Earl. I have evidence of our relationship with I killed Earl. Okay. Or same with Azo. There's probably some streams that me and Azo have done together. I can prove those relationships. I have more evidence for those relationships than you have for your relationship with Jesus. Okay. Okay. So Uh, yeah, okay, that's fine. But yeah, like I'm going to continue to address this because, like, I am sorry, it's not my business to disprove your claim of a relationship. It's your job if you're going to claim you're having a relationship with somebody, anybody, you need to prove that. Otherwise, you're just a name dropper. Like you're just dropping names. I'm going to drop the name of JC as my friend. Okay. So, there you go. There you go. Everything a person wrote, watched every movie they ever made, and known every something the person does, but that doesn't make you know who you really a person or have a relationship with. Yes, that's my point. Like the thing here, Aso, is like you can sit there and know all about Jesus Christ. You can read the book, you can read the Gospels, you can listen to Christians all over the place. But having a relationship with Jesus Christ, that's a different level. Like you can know all about a person, but you may not necessarily know them. And I try to get that across to these theists that want to point to their experience. But then this was just a really bad, unveiled attempt to reverse the burden of proof. Prove I don't have a relationship with God. Like that's not how it works. Okay, it's just not how it works. All right, I'm going to get back to the rest of these comments, but I'm going to take my 2-minute break. Grab a quick bathroom break, and I'll be right back. Thank you for being your patient here for the next 2 minutes. But anything else you want to say, or have any other questions? I got a couple more comments to deal with when I get back. So I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Yeah, I've seen some of the conversation since. I try not to argue with trolls, Nathan, but this was just a good example of why a lot of people believe. Like, and here's the problem from a ministry point of view. If I was still a Christian in the ministry, that was about one of the most ineffective things I've seen, because you sit there and you question somebody's salvation or relationship with Jesus. I give you all the answers that any denomination will say that, yeah, if you did all those things, you're going to become a Christian. And then when you say, how do you know that you have a relationship with Jesus? And then they say, oh, well, you got to prove that I don't. Like, I don't know how that works. I just don't know how that works. Yeah, it's like reversing the burden of proof. It's always a tactic with them. Asshole, you're going to get killed. Somebody's going to delete you, and I know who. Yeah, this is kind of my point. It always comes down to personal experience, which may mean something to other people. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. because I know my personal experience doesn't prove shit. Okay. And you know where I got that idea? My apologetics professor in Bible college. He's like, yeah, personal experience means a lot to you personally, but it doesn't prove anything to anybody else because everybody has personal experiences. So yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like you can't argue with somebody with an experience, but you have to point out, well, what's the basis for your belief in the experience? Like, if I can have the same quote unquote religious experience and end up believing in Vishnu, it doesn't really solve the problem. Hey, Tilting, good to see you. Why are we going to block Tilt? I like Tilt. Can't do it. Well, back to the comments. So I'm not sure what to do with this guy. And then this guy responded to somebody else too. Riggs says, no morality doesn't come from religion. It comes from basic empathy. If someone is unable to determine what is right or wrong, or just doesn't care, then they lack empathy, not religion. The guy agreed with him. Let's see, but much of the best religion offers is learning not to care for things that frankly aren't worth caring about in the first place. That's called righteousness, and it's very liberating. It's called self-righteousness, and it's not liberating. So, okay. He gave some verses there. Somebody else? Yes, burden of proof is too tough. Yes, like what a lot of people don't know about political science, and my degree in political science will tell you there are certain things about politics that are factually simply true, okay? Because you can verify them with facts. Other things are matters of opinion and philosophy and policy. And that becomes a little bit more dicey because you're dealing with humans. So, so you go after him, Tilty. Gotta make Martin mad. Oh my gosh. He just does it for fun. Okay. I don't know. I can make tilting a mod. Like I can do that as so. I can do that. Yeah. And religious trolls serve an important role. They challenge atheists to defend their right to not believe. The difference is that atheists are generally curious, whereas religious are closed-minded. Yeah. Yeah. See that? Okay. Yeah. But like it's the thing with political science, like it's called a science because there are some things that you can prove. Like you can, like certain aspects of human behavior in mass are pretty predictable. So, but others are not. So, oh, you didn't burn your dinner today, Earl? I felt sorry for you yesterday. Oh my God. So, non-demonstrable evidence. I've had that argument before, Paul. The NDEs, like it's to me, it's just interesting that people think that this is proof because it's like you do realize that Hindus have Hindu like NDEs and other people have different NDEs depending on what their culture is, and some people just have wackadoodle stuff, right? And some people have nothing at all. So I don't know what it actually proves. Like NDEs prove that people have NDEs. I think that's what it proves so far. All right. You know what? Here's the thing, Tilting. Based on a recommendation, and because ASO is like one of my tribunes and other things, I'm going to give you a wrench, Tilting, because I've watched you in action and I know you're a good moderator. So I always appreciate another good mod. So there you go. I got a lot more mods than people, I think. So, there you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Let's see. So I don't know. Hey, girl, you and me also have, or tilting, you and me also have something else in common. Like you and I have a deep love for Dave and all that he does at Captive Desk, and I miss him. So, and until he's back, we will let you have a home here. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you can stay here too after he's back too. Yes, I miss Toast. I really miss Toast. I do. So I don't know. Like I haven't heard a lot as though his, I know he's going through a major health issue, but he has not been on Saturday Night at the Atheist for a few weeks now. So yeah, he's been very sick, and so he's been kind of missing in action. So um, Saturday Night at the Atheist is still going on, but I think it's Answers in Atheism is hosting it now. So that's kind of what's going on. So I worry about Dave. Dave's a friend, so um, an internet YouTuber, fellow YouTuber that I backed up many times. I miss the Magic Zoo boat, and I miss uh, you know I miss the Bigfoot memes and all that stuff, and it's just not the same. So Dave gave it color. I'll just put it that way. Why do I think theists often fail political science cross examination process? Because I think theists handle politics the same way they handle their religion. Like there's a lot of claims that they believe are true, but they don't really have evidence for them. Like one of the great challenges as a political scientist is when somebody makes a claim about something, trying to prove that it's true or false. Like, because there's a lot of things in politics that are very similar to religion. Like, there's a lot of people that make claims about what's going on, but if you ask them to give you evidence for that, they don't know how to do it. Well, religious people are very comfortable making claims without providing evidence, as we just saw demonstrated. So yeah, it's one of those things. So yeah, just it's okay, Tilting. I'm worried about Dave. Like he's a good guy, and I miss him being on the internet. Like so, but yeah, like yeah, he's one of my favorites. So, but yeah, like I think that's why, because if if you get used to making claims without evidence in the religious sphere, you'll do it in the political sphere too. Like that's why I appreciate like talking to somebody like Earl, because Earl does her research, okay, before she forms an opinion. And sometimes I find myself like, hey, that's a damn good point. And she actually takes the time to prove it. Whereas your average theist won't do that. Like they're used to making claims without evidence, so and they just think that's the way the world works. And if you're going to make claims, do some evidence searching. And in politics, you have to do that even more. So yeah, so my favorite, the broader community. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. And me too. So, because I miss going there and saying, Hail Bigfoot and Fangs. I really miss that. Oh, it was so cool and it was so fun. So, but yeah, no, I don't think so. I think most of the people on our Discord as so are just people that want to hang out and joke together. Like, and that's kind of what our design is. Like, no, yeah, like Earl it's her thing, and so she's not allowing twat waffles at all. So there you go. So you'll be safe there. Come there and we'll hang out and do stuff and watch movies together and all that jazz. Yeah, she did. Yep. Earl, I loved it. Let's see, Martin. I actually saw one of yours in the thing, and you didn't do it here. Question I've been thinking about: what is the problem with main character syndrome? Given that everyone only lives for themselves, more or less. Uh, what's the problem with main character syndrome? Is this a gaming question? Because I will absolutely take this up if it's a gaming question. But I think if there's a problem with it, yeah, that's true. She said it with a lot of endearment towards you, though. I think that's the difference. Hi, Wolf. Oh, whether they were mentioned in sin is an idea religious in nature. I don't understand why atheists would care, especially the belief that there isn't an after. Yeah, like the afterlife thing allows you not to care about things you should probably care about. So, but yeah, main character syndrome. Oh, you know what? Now I got to live up to my own thing. And, hey, look at that! It's right at the top of any search bar. Type the word main CH, and there you go. Is a pattern of behavior where individuals see themselves as a central character in their life narrative. How would you not? I guess my question then is, how would you not see yourself as the main character of your life story? Like, how would you? Yeah, see, you're her favorite twat waffle. There you go. But yeah, I just. So, but yes, there's the Discord link again. We're always welcome to have more in the fluffle of fangs. So, um, I don't know. Um, I this is a very interesting question to me because it is a social science kind of thing. But if everybody's seeing themselves as the main character in their own story, who's the NPCs? Like, yeah, I thought that was weird too. That's why I didn't really go into the verses Dragon Rider because the guy. Here, let me go back real quick. He quotes all these verses, and like when I was looking them up myself, they just didn't make a lot of sense as to why he would. Like, anarcho Republican here is giving me verse references, and I'm not sure what he's like saying. There are certain things you shouldn't care about, right? Um, so I'm not sure. Main character syndrome implies that you're worth more. Everybody else is an NCP for your enjoyment. Okay, I guess I can get that part. Um, uh, it's an interesting discussion. I don't usually address comments of this sort because they're off the beaten path. It can both be correct because as a Goblin Queen, I say so. Damn. There we go. Journal is even harder requirement of truth. You need one, people's commentary, and two, anything you say mention being factually correct. Lies in it can you have you in court? Yes, that's a lot of things that journalists often violate those, but they know the rules. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you could see narcissism. Like the thing with video games is, and I guess this is why this is coming up because when you play in a video game, you play the main character, and everybody else is just there for your enjoyment. Now, there are some people, and I'm not sure whether what psychology thinks about this, that actually empathize with the other characters in the game, even though they're not technically real people. Like, there's people that will literally fall in love with a character or things like that. But even that can be guided by like this idea that they're there for me to fall in love with or whatever, and I'm the main character. So I guess I could see like there's an element of narcissistic things where you're thinking more highly of yourself than everybody else. So, And then there's also the aspect a lot of us may think we're main characters, but we're not. So, yeah. So, uh, basically, it has main character. Okay, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah, I think they do ignore those rules, Paul. Like the problem with journalism is there are those that do follow the rules, but they're very few and far between. I have a hard time finding them. When I do finding them, they're gold. But the rest of them in journalism, like it's hard. Build up for the rest of the world. It's not about me when I play. It's like I'm play Rome Remaster. I try to save as many soldiers' lives. Yeah, like there are people that can. So do people that play a game like you do? Are they do they have main character syndrome in a sense, or have they over overcome it? Like you realize that even these digital characters in a game you're going to treat as important because that's how you would do it in real life. Like, would you do that? Well, that's the other part, Ron. Like most people don't. I took a media class when I went back to school, and that's where I kind of learned. Oh shit! Like all media is kind of owned by six major conglomerates that are run by individuals at the top of them. So it's like when you learn that, it's kind of like, okay, how objective is the news anyway? So it's kind of like the horror story where the news is also like a product to be sold. So it's like, are you getting a product that's the truth, or are you getting something that's sellable that appeals to your emotional needs? Like, there you go. Yeah, in some games the player isn't a character. Um, like I think it was strategy games. I don't think you have that problem, but like first person stuff, like I could see where that. Yeah, you got to find the ones that aren't bought off. It's hard though. Like finding independent news sources is kind of that aren't like connected with the conglomerates is kind of difficult. If I help an old lady get the oat milk that's high on a shelf, then I don't see her as an NPC and consider it a side quest. Oh, Michael, you every time you talk about this subject, you tell me you are such a gamer. You are a gamer, aren't you? Just like me. Yeah, like that's I don't know if small town reporters can do that anymore. I do think that like certain YouTubers can get popular enough where they can influence things enough where maybe they can do that. I think there's a possibility of using social media for that purpose, but and you see it every once in a while. It's just it's not like it used to be where you could where the newspaper what was in all the newspapers was a competition to see who could find the truth of what was going on. That doesn't happen as much. Yeah, like independent, they have an agenda too. So it is, and yeah, me too. Like people ask me how long I've been playing games. Does Pong ring a bell? So, like, I actually had that hooked up to a black and white. It's my very first video game. So, corporate media isn't helping matters, but the American media is quite negative compared to the media land. Yes, that's I have heard that. Like for some reason, Americans like negative news. They don't like good news. Like we don't deal with that stuff. We bail. Like we just don't like we want something to upset us. Like I don't know what that is. So it's a game where if you act like a main character, you suffer. It's a Chinese Civil War game, and if you play as the CPC acting in such a way, you will have to lose quickly. Okay, non-player character, a person that's not run by the player. Like if you're in a video game and you go up to the guy that's running the shopkeeper is a non-player character because he's not being played by any player. Now, There are multiplayer games where somebody might be the shopkeeper. And so there's a person behind that. So, yeah. So, mm, yeah, don't feel bad. Yeah, if you're dealing with gamers, there's a terminology that comes up. But like main player, this issue with main character syndrome is kind of interesting because in a sense, like we're all kind of writing our own narrative as we live our life and make our decisions. So I guess you could see your life kind of that way as for you, you are the main character. Okay. But in the overall story, are you the main character? That might be a better question to ask. So our style of news and the public broadcasting that we have here, yeah. Supposedly we're supposed to have public broadcasting, but somehow that got taken over too. Yeah, like when I played Dungeons and Dragons, the NPC moniker was there too. Um, like you had people that you met in the story, and they were non-player characters. They were run by the dungeon master. So yeah, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, I've got about 10 more minutes, and then I got to get ready for got to do the outro stuff. So. But yeah, like this is a fascinating discussion. I included this one because I wanted to do something that wasn't dealing with theists. So, but yes, this is a fascinating idea. Like I've been very intrigued over the years as I've watched like gaming and other things in electronic media grow, how the terminology in those actually has started to come out in real life terminology. Like this is one of those main player character syndrome is like you have main player characters in games and everything exists for them. Do you treat real life that way? Like that's a very interesting question. Make it squeal. Okay. Yeah, you're sorry, Phil. I realized that about 10 years ago. I'm not young and hip anymore. I'm way behind. Go back to Rome Remaster. I triggered an early civil war, so the scale of death and slavery is lower. Yeah, see, like there are people that play games that way, Bren. Like I have an incredible difficulty playing a bad guy. Like I would love to role play a bad guy. Like I can act one. Like in if I was in a play, I've done villains before. Like and it's fun. It's not fun for me to play a villain in a video game. Like I can play the anti-hero that's just kind of dark, but in the end always does the right thing. But I can't do a straight up villain. I have a really hard time with it for some reason. And it's like these are digital characters. They don't really exist. I'm not really hurting anybody technically, but it's like there's something inside my brain that just won't let me do it. So see you later, Martin. Thanks for the question, by the way. That was cool. This is a cool topic. So yeah, it's important to distinguish them. Yeah, I mean, to you, it's not fun. That's fine. Like people are into different things, and I'm cool with that. Like it's also kind of nice to have people into different things. Like if you're into something that I'm curious about sometime, and I'm like I'm not into that, I'm like, well, what do you see in that? That's kind of cool. Like it's kind of cool to be able to bounce things off of people. So yeah, like I think the closest that I've ever come to an evil playthrough, and the only reason I did it was I wanted to see the alternate endings in the game, was Cyberpunk 2077. Like there are certain endings that you have to kind of be a dick. Like and I wanted to see I wanted to see the cutscenes. I wanted to so that so and there's one of them that's only available if you're truly a complete garbage human being throughout the entire game. And so I had to play that way just because I wanted the cutscene. So, but it was amazing how fast that playthrough went. Like I was like trying to get it over with. So it's hard to be an asshole to your companions in Mass Effect. Yes. Oh, you kick ass. See, there you go. See, I've always had a problem with the GTA franchise for that reason. Like, I'm just not into stealing people's shit and shooting them. Like, like I have a problem with that. There's one visual where its evil end is better than the good end, so it's the only case. Yeah, it's silly. I really know reality TV is silly, but Bridezilla is the perfect example of man character syndrome. Okay, yeah, that's probably true. Like, that's a good real life. Like, the bride is like the main character of her wedding, and she's going to treat everybody else like an NPC, including the groom. So it's better if I do it in video games. Yeah, that's what she said. There you go. But yeah, what a fascinating question. Oh, this is. You can't stand bridezillas. Yeah, I try being dealing with a bridezilla as a pastor. There's a funny story for you. I've done so many weddings as a minister. Like, I did a shit ton of them, and the ones I had the most time with as a minister were the bridezillas. Like, the ones that thought the wedding was all about them, and you could really see how they were treating everybody like lesser. This is my wedding. This is the way we're going to do it. And then there were better brides were ones that got the cooperation of everybody, where, like, that's not kind of what I wanted. Can you guys have any ideas so I can get what I want? Like, they asked those questions. And I just don't, those brides often had a better time at their wedding. Like, they had a good experience. I've had some very interesting weddings, like the wedding I did in prison. That was a good one. Um, went into a prison near one of the towns I was ministering in because somebody wanted to get married. And I said, well, you know what? This might be a good experience for me. And, being searched and because you're doing a wedding, I had to throw my Bible down and they went through it. Like, I've had those weddings. I had the wedding where the father of the bride had to be zoomed in because he was in prison. It's a good one too. Oh, that poor girl. She was wearing a dress. I'm like, honey, don't bend over. Because nobody's going to remember your wedding, but they're going to remember that. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, I've had some great ones tilting. Because I always wanted to, like, I had the theology of I don't want people living in sin, so I'd rather get them married all the time. So some of the places that philosophy of doing marriage has led me some very, very interesting places. So, but yeah. No, thanks, thankfully. But she was wearing a dress that was very short. Like, like you could tell this probably wasn't her first wedding, and she just wanted to wear what she wanted to wear. But yeah, it was very, very short. And I'm like, if you bend over, honey, that's all these people are going to be talking about for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so your antithesis of the bridezilla. There you go. There you go. So, but yeah, it was like you get into certain. Then there were other weddings like the groom was so nervous, and I'm always in the room with the groom, and oh my goodness, like one guy almost passed out on me. Like, I've had a lot of moments. It's been a wild ride in the ministry for me, but once I got out of it, I haven't done that as much. And somebody asked me if I'd ever do a secular one, but I'm like, I don't know. We got to get credentials for those of you that are followers of the Fluffle of Fangs. Like, I got to come up with ordination certificates or something. It's the one reason I consider making the Fluffle of 501 so that I can give out credentials to those of you that want them. So that way you can perform weddings in the name of fangs. Like I'll have to come up with a recommended fangsology ceremony for that. Like I always take suggestions from the chat about this too, by the way, because some of you planting flowers and enthusiastic flowers, super cute. Yes, yeah. I've done some things to get achievements that I wasn't always proud of. So crime, life, sentences, death. um, no, no, that never happened. Like the one thing that didn't happen is like none of the grooms ever invited me to the bachelor party. Like that was the only bachelor parties I ever got invited to were my friends, and only one of them did that after I was in the ministry. So yeah, like what's the proper location for a fangsology wedding ceremony? Like there's some of us would probably say just don't, but but like if we make the Fluffla Fangs a 501, we can also set up rules for credentialing, and then you can be a credentialed minister. Now, your mileage may vary on that because some states of the Union in the United States, for instance, require that you go through the whole justice of the peace kind of training to do marriages. You have to be official with the state and your denomination. Others, like my own home state here, don't give a shit. So, so yes. Judge Dredd is a very interesting philosophy. If nobody's left alive, there's no crimes. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. A fangsology ceremony. What would be the traditional vows of fangsology? That might be interesting. I think I'll have the women write that one. Because in the traditional Christian vows, they get screwed. Like, so maybe we should have it the other way around for fangsology. Actually focus on equality of relationship. That might be good too. Oh man, what a fun night. What a fun night, guys. I think I like the wild card format better. We got to cut onions in order to make everybody cry. Like we have to make everybody look like the Mormonians. That might be cool. Like, well, let's see. We could. Where's my favorite one of those? Oh, I can't find it. That's sad. We'll do this one. There we go. It's an old one, but there we go. We can make them all cry. Lots and lots of carrots. Like it, I can see like in a recommended ceremony, the bride must carry a bouquet of carrots, circumcised carrots too. Like you can't just be regular carrots; they got to be circumcised. So, like you have to have the circumcision to make it a more holy vegetable. So, just make sure the rabbit gets treats. There you go. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean carrots as decorations. Like, oh, you have something for me, Earl? Oh my goodness, is that your dress? Okay. All right. I see it. Do you want me to show that one? Like, is this your proof that you did not give a shit on your wedding day? Like, because I can see it in your face. Like, if I walked in on this and getting ready to do the marriage ceremony, I would be scared. Like, why are you here? All right. Well, I'm going to put this up. Let everybody else be the judge. Does Bride Earl look like she gives a shit? Oh my goodness, that's a heavy dress, girl. Why are you wearing such a big dress? But yeah, I would say the look on your face. I'm looking at a bigger one there, the one in the messages. But yeah, you definitely look like you do not care. But yeah. You look lovely, though. I'll give you that. I've seen brides that looked worse. So I had one that was drunk. There were probably more that were drunk, but the one that really let me know she was drunk by her behavior. But yeah, I can see it. I can see it. There you go. The girl, I knew it was going to be bad. Yeah, well, Earl's always cleaned up good. Like, I'm the same. Like, I clean up well for certain situations. But yeah, I can see this, Earl. The 11 one that made my mom cry, happy tears. I was hot, annoyed, and over the whole thing. Okay. Cranky, I think you might have won. Picture of a demure woman quietly contemplating the virtues of radical violence. Oh my goodness. Yeah. A divorce dress too. I don't know. What did I wear for my divorce? I was wearing a. I was at work. I was working in Texas at Klein Forest High School, and I had to take part of my lunch. I scheduled part of my lunch to be my divorce hearing by telecom, and I was wearing a, you know, everything nice but the jacket. So there you go. There you go. Oh. That's not true. Yeah. That's why I think Cranky wins the comment war here so far. Just a woman quietly contemplating the virtues of radical violence. I can see this. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh man. What a way to end the stream because I'm going to have to go. But yeah, I think this is the comment that fits it, though. I will give that. That's probably pretty close. All right, folks, I have got to sign off. Work awaits, and I've got to get going. But thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate everybody being here. The conversations have been great. All the stuff has been great. So, oh, you ended up in jail. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So it fits. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. But yeah. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it so much. You guys are awesome. Always a great stream tonight. Appreciate it. We'll be on tomorrow. I'll be continuing on the Bible study, red letters, red flags. I'm kind of debating skipping ahead a little bit because then I'm going to start switching the Bible study up like I used to do with having like 2 or 3 of them. So that's so there you go. But thanks everybody for stopping by. May Fangs nibble on all of your hearts. May he purify all your vegetables with his pointy teeth so that they are free of religious corruption. Make sure you take a moment to look into Fangs's wonderful, bright red eyes. So you have all the warm fuzzies that any religion can ever give you. Okay, make sure you leave a circumcised carrot out for Fangs. That way he might take your stash. So you might want to leave a circumcised carrot on top of your stash so that he won't do that. Of course, it's no guarantee, but he might take the carrot and the stash. So there you go. There you go. But yes, baby Fangs. See here, Lear. I'll bring you back, baby Fangs, just for you, Tilting. There you go. But yeah. So may you do all that nom nom and all that. Make sure you wiggle your noses as your fellow Fluffle members and join the Discord. Hang out with the Fluffle. It's always good times. And as always, folks, live your best life. You only get one go around and then it's over. So you want to take all your time, money, and opportunities, give them to yourself, the people you love and care for, to make this a better world. You'll be happier if you do. Don't waste them on the trappings of religion and faith. That's a dead end. I speak from experience. As always, boy, everybody, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you all tomorrow on another Bible study Wednesday night. We'll see you then. And until then, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you then. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end to find out how you can support the channel better. Of course, there's always the more normal notions of just hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell, and share the video with your friends and family that you think would be interested. That's always very appreciated. If you want to support the channel in a more tangible way, there's several options. You can super chat or super thanks in the comments or during a stream. Those are always very welcome. But you also can become a member of the channel. Members have certain perks like getting the videos early, things like that. They also have some good custom emojis during chat. So all of these things are good benefits to members, but they also support this channel and its work to continue to normalize atheism and deconversion, for which I'm very appreciative. It keeps me going, and it keeps me as a content creator being able to do more and more as a content creator. So if you choose those methods of support, thank you very much. And I appreciate you once again for staying to the end and listening to other ways that you can support the channel. Appreciate it. Thanks, and I'll catch you next time.